Chris Watson of Music Eye, and today we've got James Hollingsworth, and he's actually based in Frome, and he's got a new album out, and it's called 13 Moons, and it's released in February, so it's available now. Now, when I heard it, it's sort of 12 tracks. It has a 70s prog rock feel to it. I could be wrong, but that's how it feels. Yet it's an original. I think it's a sort of spiritual journey, but I'm sure James will fill me in on that. James's vocals to me sound a little like Peter Gabriel and Phil Collins, which is another one which is quite interesting too. But let's see where we go with this anyway. So James, you're a Frome-based musician now, but what's your background and influences?
Well, I'm from Sussex originally. I've lived in Swansea and Bristol, and well, early on, really, when I was listening to music around the home, both my parents used to play a lot of music on records and so on, and my dad played a bit of guitar. My mum played some piano. I had no conception of genre as a 6 or 7-year-old. You listen to the top 40 in the bath, and then I sort of stopped listening to music. So as I started to approach my teens, or sort of 10-ish, I suppose. I thought it was childish, all that kind of just splashing about. But it didn't take me long for my ears to be pricked by Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds. Just kept going back to that album.
Yeah, right.
Thought. And then my brother started listening to Prog, who you talked about. This were among the so that was sort of quite hard music for me when I first heard it. I preferred the Supertramp. It was friendlier.
Yeah, I quite like
yes. You've got to have a favourite band when you're a certain age, and I could never decide whether I was or it was Rush. So yeah.
I like Rush as well. Rush were great actually. I think Genesis and Yes for me were they were musicians. They were musicians, and they created something. No matter how long it was, didn't matter. It was pure music, and the singing and lyrics were sort of mystical almost. And again, it's bound to influence you, isn't it? As it's probably influenced you a little bit by the sound of it. So that's good.
Well, yeah, they were influenced themselves by living in this country and having probably, I would think, a lot of their influence would have been from their classical.
It was, yeah.
At school, because I think the chord Genesis came from a public school, although
that's right.
Collins,
but anyway, it was different. It was still with us. It's still with us anyway. Okay, but you're a guitarist. You're a guitarist. What age did you start playing guitar? By the way, was it fairly early, or did you just sort of pick it up one day and think I can do this?
Oh, probably. My brother got a guitar, and I probably started playing that when I was about 14, 15. He borrowed guitars from his friends and effects pedals, and I'd sit underneath the stairs with the headphones plugged into an effects pedal, going ding 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 ding. That's how it went. And it was my first instrument. I started off on the piano and then moved on to the violin on these midnight runners. Yeah. But they didn't teach me how to play Common Eileen, so I gave it up.
I do like a fiddle, I have to say, but you're not playing fiddle on this, but never mind. The thing is, you are actually playing mostly instruments on this album, aren't you? 13 Moons.
Yeah, I did play most of the instruments, as you said. Who knows what I might have got together as a band had there not been a pandemic. But I was starting to work with Sandro, the percussionist, on Faster Than Light again, but that's quite a long distance.
Sure.
But we were booked so that could have carried on. There's quite a few different recordings across quite a broad range of time on the album. Yeah. During that time, I worked with quite a few different musicians, including Jebbo, who had the Genesis producer connection as well. Bring me to the band, talking about that producer being on board, and I still know Johnny. He lives quite locally, and he produced Far Away From Home, the first single. Emails by.
That's interesting. That anyway, that single that you chose that one. Anyway, the album itself, though, 13 Moons. I mean, in a nutshell, is it a spiritual journey with nature, or Am I right on that?
Tried to express that. Thanks for picking up on it. When I first came up with that collection of songs, I needed something new. I'd just been moving house, and I was quite busy. I need to get back on the road and have something new to sell in 2013. So I always knew I needed to come back to it and finish properly, make it into an album.
Yeah.
So 13 Moons at my gigs out the back of the van since 2013. But it needed this treatment, and I gave it a completely new running order.
Brilliant.
Chosen intuitively, I guess you could call that a spiritual connection.
Yeah.
Spirituality, compare and contrast, maybe in another show. And it's turned out to be something that flows. That's what I wanted to produce, and certainly it fits with the spiritual journey through the human zone, from nature and back to nature.
Yeah, got it. Oh yeah, one of the songs Still Lights the Rain. Now that's an interesting observation too. It's because how many people actually look at the raindrops in the sort of light pollution we have, usually sodium lamps still, because you can't see the stars, but you can see the rain coming down in individuals. I mean, that's quite a good observation to make a song from, to be honest. I mean, yeah, it's a bit, maybe it is prog rocky, that one. I don't know. It could be. But anyway,
you're quite limited to many other genres. It's got to be about boy meets girl, or girl meets boy, or girl meets girl, whatever it is. But it's quite simple, babies. And that's always been the case. There's always been this kind of foam and in pop, and that's what pop's good at. But I like to make every song have its own thing that it wants to be. So it's that intuitive expression.
That's good.
Yeah, it sort of emerged. It takes a long time for like some album. I wrote the words in 2002, and then I wrote the music in 2012. But they fit.
Comes together. Well, okay, the album itself, well, that's out now. Now, we played the first single when we started this interview, and I've already played it on Music Eye Radio as well, and that's Far Away From Home. Now, do you feel at home?
In Frome, yeah, it was an interesting time that my wife walks back.
Okay.
I'm home, yeah. If I'm with her, it'll be home. But it's Frome, right?
But you followed it up with a second single actually now, which is Breathing It In, and that's. I said that was autobiographical, but it sounds to me like it's probably something to do with coming out of lockdown, is it?
This came out of there's one of the collaborators on the album is Jason Flinter.
Yes.
Who is branding guru and does the song Diner. He's worked with so many different people, not just in Bristol, but around the country. I'm not sure how far away, but he came up with the music for Breathing It In using this lady who approached him, Jackie Spindley, and they, as a collaborative team, invited me to sing the song. Jason thought that it would suit my voice. So, and then no one was using the song, so I kind of adopted it, and this is the result. So that's the only song on the album that I didn't write.
No,
but obviously I've interpreted, added some. Yeah.
Well, anyway,
it's meant to breathe. Yeah, it's the timing in terms of coming out of lockdown. Yeah, that's an interesting one. I was thinking more about the spring, that moment of walking outside and the sun's come round again.
I suppose it all depends how you view it. It sounds one of the lines is there about you'd have had enough of feeling low, and I think a lot of people have been feeling pretty low through this last year or so. Anyway, so that's what I thought.
About the lyrics, they're not mine.
Yeah,
but it's
okay.
There in the verses.
Anyway, we're going to finish with that one. I think the last thing we probably just need to know is where to find your music.
Yeah, at the moment, I'm asking people to listen on Spotify, even if they don't have player, they can listen for free there. And also, it helps me reach more people who would like my music. Genuine listen, worth my bots, as they call them, of course. But also on my website, I have my CD, including the the linen covered CDs with the vinyl effect and the 7-page lyric. That's
quite nice, isn't it, for people to collect? Yeah, quite a nice idea, that. Yeah.
They cost me more than 10 quid each, so I'm selling them for 20, which seems fair.
Yeah.
Not there's a markup, but it's a nicer thing to have. You know, if you can have, it makes something that's feels nice in your hand.
Yeah.
But I hope people, and they can get those via my Facebook shop or my website, jameshollingsworth.com.
Brilliant. Okay, thanks, James.
I feel the morning sun shine down on me. I feel the softest touch from the breeze kiss my skin, and the good times I'm breathing them in, 'cause my life is about to begin. I spend far too much time feeling low. I've spent too many days on my own, and the good times I'm breathing them in, and the good times I'm breathing them in, and the good times I'm breathing them in, 'cause my life is about to begin. Now it's time to wipe the tears from your eye. Now it's time to wave the sadness goodbye. And the good times I'm breathing them in, and the good times I'm breathing them in, and the good times I'm breathing them in, 'cause my life is about to begin.